Ahmedabad University.
Ahmedabad University. Ahmedabad University.
What's the buzz around Ahmedabad University? And how did its Masters in Economics program make it onto our yearly college's recommendation list so quickly? And more importantly, what makes it so special?
Many of our students also say this, that from the traditional background they are coming. They say that they didn't get many opportunities in other institutions. Not that the institutions are bad. I respect every institution, and all institutions are good. But the thing is, because we try to keep the class size so low and so tight and so filtered in terms of the quality, that ensures that a faculty is able to give ample time to each student, and the students are also able to get whatever they want. They make the most of these opportunities. I think that is something which we can operate, um, uh, which many other places in terms of resources and other challenges might not. So in general, every course is definitely referring to real life applications and real life problems, and economics as a field is an applied field dealing with real questions of the society. So that is already there. But the objective here is, over and above that, we are dealing with some very topical problems which the society and the economy worldwide is currently facing. So, for example, as I said, 3 credits is the bare minimum. Three out of 3 credits, every student has to take 2 credits of 1.5, 2 courses of 1.5 credits each. One on informal labor and one on climate. So these are two pressing problems for the world climate. It's definitely one of the crises that the entire world is going to face very soon. We are already at it. And then one is the labor, this changing technology, new technology, and AI replacing labor, and applying what we're learning as a class exercise also to some real life data set and to some real life problem, which can be chosen by yourself also under faculty supervision.
Just a follow-up on that, sir. So, does this 3KD system helps you in the specific competencies that admission officer at a top university, like say in the US or in the EU, will look for the PhD program admission officer look for?
So 3 credit is basically a minimum credit for any full semester course. So all our courses are of 3 credits. It can be of 1.5 credits courses also. Courses can vary, but overall, the minimum graduation requirement for the program is 80. Students usually take a minimum of 81 credits to graduate. That much is needed. So, and out of that, 6 is going to come from the project, 3 is from the summer internship, rest from the coursework. Some courses, some are core courses, some are elective courses, and there is a basket of elective courses the students can choose from. So each such course, a standard full semester course, is of 3 credits. You can take 1.5 credits each. So 1.5 credits is basically 13 sessions. 3 credits is basically 26 sessions. And this is very standard in the sense that this credit to our this equivalence is very much keeping in mind the US system, and they are absolutely transferable. Students who are also looking for international exposure and going to exchange programs or other programs, they take credit transfers. They can take credit transfer. They can bring credits. They can also do some approved list of MOOC courses or other courses which outside the list of courses that are offered in the university, although all courses are offered in the university. But some students do, sometimes they really want to do out of the topic also, out of the subject also. But alongside, they don't have, it might not be a 3 credit long course in the university, but shorter credit online course and want to get a certificate in academics. That system is also possible. So it's a very much worldwide academic system, credit system aligned, absolutely following that same model. So it's absolutely not a problem. In fact, most of our students are PhD aspirants abroad.
Okay, so let's say a student is actively looking for a PhD admission abroad. So, how do you mentor them to to like to that
So
level?
I form a group of the students. For example, this group of the batch which came in 2025 last year. So we have formed a group of the students of the PhD aspirants, and we teachers mentor them separately. In the sense that we encourage them from the very first day to, apart from all the coursework, in addition to that, they go to a faculty and start some reading, ROship is anyway there, ROship, research assistantship, some project work, whatever the faculty has, certainly based on the student's background and time management requirement and necessities, how much time the student can manage and all that part of the coursework. But we encourage this from day one. So this
That,
helps them
yeah.
in doing an ROship apart from the project or the dissertation the student is doing anyway as a part of the program. And thesis or projects are certainly a deal breaker. And many students do come out with a working paper version of some of the projects, or the thesis. So then the students also get an ROship opportunity, and some students also work under 2-3 more faculty. Not only on the same project, the project also changes from time to time. One semester with one faculty, or one project, one semester
And
with another.
obviously the LOR, the letter of recommendation, is what the goal, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the letter of recommendation now changes, the quality changes, because anyway, the teachers are going to give you a letter of recommendation based on the coursework and other things. But then when you have all these kinds of opportunities, and these opportunities are only possible when you have a very research active faculty. The faculty is so well connected in the global research scenario, and also you can get to do these things over and above the standard coursework as mostly common everywhere else. So these are the unique benefits which helps a PhD aspirant to build the CV and make it more competitive to get in to any good PhD place. In fact, even for our undergrad students, for example, one of the students last year, 3 students for their masters, one student was placed in Chicago with 60% scholarship, one student was placed in Yale with 100% scholarship, one student was placed in Duke with again 60% Yale scholarship, and they also have moved forward to do PhD from there as well. So we directly placed them, we wrote the letters. So definitely not only its course being for masters programs, it's even more competitive to get scholarship, and that is happening for the masters programs also, masters and undergrad programs also. So all programs with the same faculty who the students are working with from day one under close supervision, and also how the program is designed to take care of these things and so much encouraged, and faculty is also so research active and well connected. I think this is one of the very unique advantage here compared to the other.
You talk about the research paper. Sir, I'm going to ask a pressing question on this is that most of the we see in India that they take master students for granted, and they don't give them the co-authorship in any research paper most of the time, in any substantial research paper. So what is the scenario at Ahmedabad University? Do you allow students to co-author a research paper with the existing faculty?
I think it depends on the contribution. We have undergraduate students also as co-authors, and we have postgraduate students also as co-authors. If the student is doing research assistantship, then that is very much from the beginning advertised as a research assistantship. And if the contribution is significant, then of course there is co-authorship also. So I think the expectation is that just because it is some assistantship someone is engaging into, doesn't make into an authorship. And to be very honest, it is not expected from everyone that everyone is authoring a paper at this young age, because you understand these are it shouldn't look unrealistic. An application shouldn't look very unrealistic also. But just being honest about the contribution, those students who can really make it, those students who are really able to give that much time and that much effort and can reach at that level at the time of the application, they are absolutely encouraged to give co-authorship with many of the faculty members here, students have been.
Yeah, I was seeing that I think the Sonal Yadav ma'am have co-authored research paper with the students, I think.
I myself have co-authored, Sonal has co-authored, there are many other colleagues who have co-authored. Many.
Yeah, like there was this case with the IIT Roorkee that is getting famous. Have you heard of it? Like when the professor didn't allow the student to name or patent his research.
I am
It's
not sorry.
There was this case in IIT Roorkee when the student put in all the work and the faculty didn't allow him to co-author or grant him the patent. So I think it's a really good scenario at Ahmedabad University that you are allowing a student to co-author. You have co-authored, and Sonal ma'am, as you have mentioned, have co-authored. So
Many
it's
other
a
colleagues have co-authored, and also I know in most of the institutions, many faculty members.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a great sign of growth that you are actually giving the credit, that you are actually engaging with the students. Otherwise, like we have seen cases when the faculty outright refuse to students, even doesn't matter how much their contribution is. So
if it's thesis or a project work which is evaluated for the student as a part of the student's course or program, then certainly it has to be the student's own work. So there is no question of not giving any co-authorship if that at all qualifies to be a paper, comes out to be a good paper. There is no question of not
that's
giving
that's
anything, because
that's such a that's
this
such
is a
a
student's thing. The student is doing it, and the student is getting evaluated on the basis of this. So certainly the student has the intellectual right over it, no doubt.
that's such
Absolutely. So this is reflected both in undergrad and in master's program also. For example, we have a free elective where the student can choose any course, provided the prerequisite of that course is, the student fulfills that prerequisite criteria
But
and has
we
sufficient
see
background knowledge in that course.
sometimes students are really picky, like they just want that particular elective, and sometimes you see that a university they kind of like sideline them and they just force them to study only certain particular electives. We see the case of DSC, like they force you to choose a certain elective.
No, I think institutions offer electives or courses based on some optimization, resource constraint, under some resource constraints also. I think that is where the institutions come from, and there is a trade-off between the student's interest and the institution's resource constraint. But overall, I think as far as the free elective is concerned, free elective, definitely the idea is that a student can learn anything that the student wants, which goes in the spirit of the interdisciplinarity of the university. So all
Yeah,
our programs
I
are
can give you my yeah, I can give you my example. In my university, I chose a course in astronomy, but what I got from my department is they forced me to get rid of the course. So it's kind of a fresh air that you are allowing students to choose their electives and you are not like sidelining them.
This has been the policy of Ahmedabad University from the very beginning. So we follow two things. One is that the research and the teaching has to be interdisciplinary, because the future solutions to the problems of the society are interdisciplinary in nature in reality. There's no doubt about it. And also, secondly, we have the policy of student centricity, where a student himself carves out a study plan for his or her own self. So student who fulfills all the core courses, and there are some electives from the discipline, certain credits are taken from that, then the student is also free to take other courses, and based on the student's interest, based on the student's future career plan, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
So the
that's
idea is that
the
the student will plan his own CV with as much freedom possible, certainly under a faculty's advice.
yeah, that's the whole. I think you are correct. You have correctly said that that's the whole idea of college, that you study what you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So the
that's
idea is that
the
the student will plan his own CV with as much freedom possible, certainly under a faculty's advice.
yeah, that's the whole. I think you are correct. You have correctly said that that's the whole idea of college, that you study what you want.
Yeah, yeah, certainly.